manageable level simply by
Well guys, and welcome back to another so if any
16.
ship sank like
Fully equipped
Titanic.
doctor's office. In case of any medical
So in this video we're going to do the
members of the
Teutonic.
royal family usually go to a hospital.
Teutonic is the second ship in this entire game
There's
to
a
even have
situation
it.
that prevents them from doing so. They don't have to worry because they can
It's one
receive
of the only
treatment without leaving
two
the
ships in
palace.
this entire
The
game to
doctor's
even have
office
it.
located there is
The other
even equipped for surgical
being,
procedures.
well,
15. The
Titanic.
largest private garden in London. Imagine 30 football fields, and you'll get the idea about the size of the palace garden that stretches.
Anyways, time to start it.
Football analogy that makes the palace into the luxury boxes overlooking the 30 football fields. Oh, never mind. The garden is divided into three main parts. Terraces, which includes the massive lawn, a rose garden, where you can find a famous 15-foot Waterloo vase, or vase, and see 25 varieties of England's national flower, and the yard, which is a less manicured area. Number 14, Secret River. Ooh. The river Tyburn flows under the south wing of the palace, revealing the fact that the building was set up on swampland. Of course, it doesn't mean that part of the palace is floating on water, but a river runs through it, or at least underneath it, adding to the uniqueness of the royal residence. Number 13.
Well again?
Office. You probably already have the idea that Buckingham Palace isn't simply a building, but more like a mini town, since the royalty can get pretty much any service there. And yes, that includes the mail. Since the Queen is the Queen, using a regular post office isn't an option for her. That's why her palace has its own post office. Pretty cool. Speaking of mailing, number 12, zip code. Usually zip codes are assigned to specific neighborhoods, but when it comes to Buckingham Palace, everything seems to be an exception. This truly massive place has its own zip code. If you ever feel like writing a letter to the Queen, or maybe sending her some cute gift, here it is, SW1A 1AA. Just don't address it to Liz. Number 11, spooky neighbor. It seems like any building that's really old has to have a ghost or two. The same goes for the palace. The site where the royal residence is located now was once occupied by a monastery, and some believe that's the reason why the place is haunted.
Yeah, that's good.
Who used to live in that monastery?
Sure about what's playing in the background.
Do you think it might be true? Sound off in the comments.
I got to pause it.
Number 10, labyrinth of secret tunnels. Some used to say that there's a secret tunnel that connects Buckingham Palace and London too. It's just a rumor, but the royal residence does have tunnels. There's a whole underground system of passageways that allows getting from Buckingham Palace to Clarence House, as well as the House of Parliament. This system serves for security purposes, obviously, but I wonder if the Queen ever used it just because she didn't feel like using a car to get to those places. Maybe they have a golf cart that runs her around. Forget it. Just need Snickers. Number 9. It wasn't originally built for kings and queens. Now this one might surprise you, but before the palace turned into the building we know it as today, it was just a 3-story blockhouse owned by John Sheffield, the Duke of Buckingham. In 1761, King George III decided to buy it for £21,000, which is now around $5 million, which is still a steal, and started the process of transforming the estate into a magnificent sanctuary for his wife, Queen Charlotte. However, the first monarch who made it as their official residence was Queen Victoria. She did it after her coronation in 1837. Number 8, unexpected visitor. During the long history of Buckingham Palace, there were a few cases of ordinary people